Last time we uncovered Grandpa's timeless jungle survival hacks that still shock even my outdoorsy friend Adam. But surviving the jungle isn't just about tools and clever tricks. What happens when you face wild animals lurking nearby? Or when sudden storms sweep in, turning paradise into a wet, cold nightmare? In part 2, we dive deeper, how Grandpa's wisdom prepared me to handle wild animal encounters, build weatherproof shelters, and stay alive when the jungle throws everything it has at you. Adam and I put these old-school hacks to the ultimate test, and you won't believe what we found. Ready to get wild? Let's go. Understanding animal behavior, your first line of defense. Grandpa always said, you can't outfight the jungle, but you can outsmart it. Before running from or confronting a wild animal, understanding its behavior is your best survival tactic. Grandpa explained animal behavior not just reactionary, but predictive. Grazing herbivores like deer, elk, wild boar follow feeding cycles tied to daily dawn and dusk grazing patterns. By hiking midday through dense vegetation, you actually avoid feeding zones, reducing risk. Adam now studies regional wildlife activity maps and trail camera footage ahead of treks, then aligns his path to avoid predator overlap with human paths. Few people know that bear encounters spike 30% after salmon runs when food competition peaks. Grandpa simply listened to water flow, noticed bear trails, moved early, stayed quiet. Treat jungle like a chessboard. Observe signals from animal tracks, droppings, scratch marks. Then adapt your route. Behavior flow reveals where danger hides. Grandpa's lessons. Most wild animals want nothing to do with humans. They avoid confrontation. Make noise as you move. It warns animals of your presence and prevents surprise encounters. Never run from large predators like bears or big cats. Running triggers their chase instincts. Instead, back away slowly, facing the animal without direct eye contact. Identify territorial animals, like wild boars or certain monkeys, versus curious ones. Your response changes depending on the species. Adam's story. On a solo trek in Canada's boreal forest, Adam spotted a black bear just 50 feet away. Instead of panicking, he stood still, spoke calmly, and slowly backed away. The bear, uninterested, wandered off. Pro tip: carry a small bell or whistle clipped to your pack. This constant noise alerts animals well in advance, reducing surprise encounters. A simple but highly effective warning system. Wild animal deterrence. Grandpa's tin can rattle, Grandpa's secret weapon against curious or cautious animals? A simple noisemaker made from old tin cans tied with twine. As he hiked, he'd shake this noisy bundle every few minutes. The jangling noise kept animals at bay, signaling a human presence well before a close encounter. Grandpa's thread twine rattle wasn't random. He tuned pitch by selecting can sizes with resonant tone range. He'd hang multiple cans spaced out to produce alternating clinks. That sound travels loud, alerts animals far upstream. Adam refined this by selecting steel cans with ridged texture. More echo. He connects 3 cans via breaker wire twine at shoulder height for gentle swing noise, avoiding noise fatigue. This multi-can rig doubles as emergency fishing weight or gear organizer when dismantled. He clips it near hips so movement translates into gentle melody, not shriek. Leaves animals ample time to detect human presence, retreat without confrontation. Effective, reusable, zero bulk. Why this works? Most animals instinctively avoid unfamiliar noises. It signals danger or human presence. Adam's modern upgrade. He carries a small bear bell clipped to his jacket, paired with Grandpa's tin can rattle for layered protection. Bonus hack. If you don't have bells or cans, banging sticks together or clapping hands every 10 minutes works almost as well. How to make a simple animal snare trap. Emergency food source survival isn't just about avoiding animals. Sometimes you need to catch them. Grandpa taught me a simple snare trap using twine, bent sticks, and natural triggers. Grandpa's trap technique wasn't just reactive. He mapped animal feeding paths using droppings and footprints, lined rope snares across narrow game trails. For small mammals, he used toggle trigger from flexible sapling branch. Tie knot around taut branch, the other end into noose. When animal disturbs small twig, branch springs upright, snare tightens instantly. Twist pull knot ensures instant action, reduces risk of escape. Ethical note. Always release non-target species promptly, never trap endangered wildlife. Humanely bait only edible species prevalent in region. Step by step. Find a sturdy, flexible sapling bent down to the ground. This will be your spring. Tie one end of twine to the sapling, the other to a noose made from a loop of twine or wire. Place the noose on a known animal trail or near a burrow entrance. Secure the trigger with a stick that, when disturbed by an animal, releases the sapling, tightening the noose. Important: only use traps legally and ethically. Never trap indiscriminately or in protected areas. Adam's experience. During a remote forest expedition, Adam set a snare near rabbit tracks. Overnight, he caught a rabbit, a vital protein boost for survival. Camouflage. Using nature to your advantage. Grandpa didn't rely on expensive camo gear. He used nature itself to blend into the jungle. How he did it. Covered exposed skin with mud, leaves, and bark to break up his silhouette. Avoided bright or synthetic clothing, preferred earth tones and repurposed army surplus gear. Moved slowly and deliberately to avoid attracting attention. Grandpa's mud leaf bark face mask technique had seasonal nuance. In dry zone jungle, bark from silverleaf tree offers reflective sheen, reducing infrared signature. Useful if aerial search warranted. Mud from antlion pits works best because fine texture dries matte, doesn't crack. He avoided plant sapling bleach leaves which glowed under low light. Adam studies local flora, selects leaf coloration matching terrain. He layers burlap under dead leaves inside pack for scent absorption. He moves slower near animal watering holes at dawn, and dusk changing silhouette shape gradually. He stays patchy, avoids smooth motion visible to reptiles and birds. Combining audio deception, twig planting, with visual camouflage increases avoidance. Adam's technique. He carries biodegradable face paint and a burlap sack, using these to enhance natural camouflage. He also learned to mimic animal sounds subtly to remain undetected. Building a weatherproof shelter. Grandpa's lean-to shelter is a jungle classic. Quick to build, effective, and made entirely from natural materials. How to build a lean-to. Find 2 sturdy trees about 6 feet apart. Lay long branches or poles between them at an angle to form a slanted roof. Cover the frame densely with leaves, palm fronds, or bark to shed rain. Adam's modern touch. He carries a lightweight tarp and paracord, but still builds lean-tos for insulation and camouflage. Bonus: drape a soaked flour sack towel over the lean-to frame for extra windproofing. It dries quickly and breathes well. Waterproofing clothes and gear. Grandpa's beeswax trick staying dry saves lives. Grandpa waxed his canvas clothes and bags with beeswax or candle wax to repel water. How to do it yourself. Rub beeswax or candle wax over fabric surfaces. Use gentle heat, like from a fire or hairdryer, to melt wax into the fabric. Grandpa never wasted leftover wax from candles or honey jars. He scraps wax into small shavings and stores in film canister. Between trips, he turns wax blocks into fabric patches, joint seams, pockets. His method. After heating cloth, he gently sanded wax surface to permit breathability. He recommended beeswax for canvas, paraffin for cotton t-shirts. He added a drop of pine resin for extra stickiness in humid jungles. Guy lines his cap or bandana with wax coating. Repels not just rain, but insect oviposition. Adam creates bead lines along seam edges with wax, sealing tiny needle holes from punctures. He upgrades by mixing wax and soda pop bottle top zinc powder to reduce sheen reflective in moonlight. Waterproofing not permanent. Needs annual recoat. Grandpa recommended reapplying every full moon or rainy session to maintain fabric performance. Why it works. Water beads and rolls off rather than soaking in. Fabric breathes better than plastic rain gear. Easy to repair and reapply on the trail. Adam's preparation. He carries a small beeswax block to waterproof gear and patch leaks during his treks. Layering for jungle weather. Jungle weather swings fast. Hot days and cold, damp nights. Grandpa's solution? Smart layering. His system: breathable cotton or linen base layer. Waxed canvas shirt or jacket for water resistance. Lightweight wool or fleece for warmth at night. Adam's upgrade. He combines modern synthetic base layers with vintage waxed canvas outerwear and wool socks. Tip: never wear just cotton socks. They trap moisture and cause blisters. Use thin liners under wool socks for comfort. Natural weather forecasting. Reading the signs. Grandpa never needed an app. He read the sky and nature to predict storms. Signs to watch. Red sky at night. Good weather ahead. Darkening clouds and humidity spikes. Rain is coming. Animal behavior shifts. Birds fly low. Frogs croak loudly. Insects buzz more. Grandpa's forecast signs extended beyond skies. He pressed leaf edges under his fingernail to test humidity absorption. Soft, swollen leaves pointed to rainfall within 18 hours. Ant trails seeming inactive midday meant storm approaching. They tunnel deeper when rain near. Frogs croaking in chorus before sunset was reliable indicator of monsoon storm within 45 minutes. Dragonflies' low flight near streams signaled pressure drop. Adam logs ambient humidity via compact hygrometer and cross-compares with these natural signs. He shares daily forecasting practice in digital journal along index time tag for post-trip analysis. Weather awareness isn't about tech. It's built from daily pattern recognition. Adam's practice. He keeps a journal of these signs for every trip, learning local weather patterns. Emergency rainwater collection, the leaf and towel filter. Clean water is survival's foundation. Grandpa used a simple rainwater collector made with natural materials. How to build. Stretch a flour sack towel between branches to catch rain. Position large leaves beneath to funnel water into containers. The towel filters out large debris. Leaves channel water efficiently. Adam's version. He combines this method with a small solar still if available, but this setup works anywhere. Fire starting in wet conditions. Tinder bundles starting fires. When everything's wet is one of the toughest challenges. Grandpa's answer? Always carry dry tinder bundles stored in waterproof containers. Bundle contents. Birch bark flakes. Dry pine needles. Cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. Small dry twigs. Adam's kit. A compact waterproof tin packed with tinder and a ferro rod. His go-to fire starter in any weather. First aid basics for jungle hazards. Grandpa's medicine chest. The jungle brings cuts, bites, and infections. Grandpa's homemade medicine chest was simple but life-saving. Honey. Natural antiseptic for wounds. Garlic. Used for infections and as a topical antibiotic. Plantain leaves. Applied to soothe insect bites and skin irritation. Turmeric powder. For wound healing and anti-inflammatory treatment. Adam carries a compact first aid kit, but always supplements it with these natural remedies. Navigating without a compass. Natural navigation. Grandpa never needed a compass. He read nature to find his way. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Use shadows for direction. Moss grows thicker on the north side of trees in many regions. At night, use stars. Find the North Star to determine north. Adam combined these techniques with a solar-powered GPS, but practiced natural navigation skills every trip. Multi-use tools. Grandpa's Swiss Army. Every tool Grandpa carried had multiple uses. A sturdy knife for cutting, carving, and fire starting, striking ferro rods. A bandana for sun protection, water filter, sling, or pot holder. A metal cup for boiling water, cooking, and collecting rainwater. Adam invests in multi-use modern gear, but always respects Grandpa's philosophy. Fewer versatile tools win the day. Food storage and animal proofing camp. Keep your supplies safe. Animals have a keen nose. Grandpa stored food carefully. Suspended food bags from tree branches, at least 10 feet off the ground and 6 feet from the trunk. Stored smelly items separately and away from sleeping areas. Adam uses lightweight bear bags and odor-proof containers, but still uses the same hanging techniques. Mindset and patience, the ultimate survival hack. Finally, Grandpa's most important lesson. Survival is as much mental as physical. Stay calm, think clearly, and trust your skills. Patience often means the difference between life and death. Adam says the hardest challenge is not the jungle. It's mastering your own mind. The jungle is raw, unpredictable, and unforgiving. But with Grandpa's old-school hacks, combined with modern smarts, you'll be ready for anything. Remember, survival isn't about fancy gear or the latest gadgets. It's about respect, preparation, and grit. Drop your own survival stories and Grandpa's wisdom in the comments below. Let's keep this legacy alive together.